If you've ever had the pleasure of eating a kolache factory kolache, you'd know why I miss them so much. So to make this quick, I'm going to be using some Jimmy Dean's breakfast sausage. Now don't use this thawed, it's important that it is frozen. In your food processor or NutriBullet, go ahead and break up those frozen links. This will make it much easier for your food processor to pulverize the meat like we need it. Now, in a small saucepan, melt 1 tablespoon butter. Next, I'll add some bacon crumbs. And guys, I know some of you don't like packaged items like this, so go ahead and fry it up yourself if that's what you so choose. Add it to your melted butter. Then we'll add our finely ground breakfast sausage. Now go ahead and mix the bacon and sausage up until you start to get a golden brown. Once it reaches a golden brown state, you want to go ahead and just let it set, and we'll go to the next step. Now, in a separate bowl, go ahead and separate 3 egg whites. Then place those nutritious yolks into the pan. Now add 2 whole eggs, and if you manage to get a shell in there like I did, simply take the eggshell and scoop it out. It works just like a magnet. Now if you're wondering why I cook my meat first, I have found that the meat incorporates so much better into the eggs using this method. Now that that's cooked, go ahead and add 2 more eggs. But these 2 eggs, we're not going to cook them fully. This is because you want them to remain tacky, like you see here. That way when we go ahead and scoop them, they hold together well. Now back to those egg whites. We're going to take those 3 egg whites, put them in a mixing bowl, and we're going to get those whipped to stiff peaks because that aeration makes this so much more bread-like. Now we're going to go ahead and add some seasonings. I'm going to add a 1/4 teaspoon garlic salt, followed by Tony Sassery's, my favorite, another 1/4 teaspoon of it. And if you love bacon as much as I do, go ahead and sprinkle some of that in too. Now in your food processor, go ahead and add 1/3 cup mozzarella cheese, followed by 1/2 cup almond flour. Go ahead and give that a couple bursts in your food processor. Now sprinkle it over your egg white mix. Once you've got that added, go ahead and mix it, but make sure you only mix this on a low speed. You just need to get it well incorporated, as you see here. Now liberally spray your muffin tin. And guys, I'm using a cheap Mainstay muffin tin here, and it works excellent. And now it's time for that egg white mix. And just for reference, I'll be using a 24 scoop for this recipe. Go ahead and take a level scoop and fill all the cavities. Well, I'm only going to fill 4 because these last 2 cavities, I'm only going to put 1/2 scoop in, and you'll see why here in a second. Now here's another tip while using a Teflon pan. Using that silicone spatula will save that Teflon pan. Now for the egg portion of this recipe, I'm using a number 40 scoop. And while you can use a regular spoon, using scoops makes this recipe so much easier. Now I want you to notice these last 2 because they're a different style recipe. This is going to be more of a kolache style. And savory kolaches are usually just a yeast roll with egg, bacon, and cheese, or a sausage link in the middle of them. Once filled, give them a good tap on each side. Then we're going to place them in the oven at 350 for 15 to 20 minutes. Now you want to let these cool for a bit, but if you're adding cheese, this is the perfect time to add it because the heat from the eggs will melt it perfectly. Now the last option is carnivore, and I will link my tortilla here. Guys, thanks so much for watching, and as always, I will see you in the next video.